In Washington, D.C., rumors don't just travel fast, they can ignite political firestorms in a matter of hours. The city is a pressure cooker of ambition, secrets, and power, where even a whisper can set off a chain reaction that ripples through the highest levels of government. In this environment, the line between fact and speculation is razor thin, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Yesterday, December 8, 2025, the political world was jolted when MS Now, a major news outlet, published a headline that sent shockwaves through the Capitol. The report claimed that President Trump was on the verge of firing Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, a move that, if true, would signal a dramatic shift in the administration's approach to national security. The story quickly gained traction, spreading across social media and dominating cable news discussions. According to the article, Noem had lost the president's confidence after a series of internal disagreements and policy clashes. The piece hinted at behind-the-scenes turmoil, suggesting that a major shakeup in national security leadership was imminent. Pundits and analysts immediately began speculating about the possible reasons for Noem's alleged fall from grace and what it could mean for the administration's future. The report raised urgent questions that echoed through the halls of Congress and the media. Why now? What had Kristi Noem done to prompt such a drastic move? Was this the result of a policy disagreement, a personal conflict, or something more? And perhaps most importantly, who might be tapped to replace her if the rumors proved true? The uncertainty fueled a frenzy of speculation, with journalists scrambling for answers and lawmakers demanding clarification. But as the story gained momentum, the White House and the Department of Homeland Security moved quickly to respond. Within hours, both issued strong statements categorically denying the report. Officials called the story completely false, insisting that Secretary Noem retained the full confidence of the president and that no changes were planned. The administration's swift and forceful response was meant to put the rumors to rest, but for many, questions lingered. The public, meanwhile, was left in a state of confusion, trying to make sense of conflicting headlines and official denials. In an era where misinformation can spread as quickly as the truth, Americans were forced to sift through a barrage of updates, hot takes, and expert opinions. Was this a case of sloppy reporting, a deliberate leak, or a genuine misunderstanding? The uncertainty only deepened as the story continued to evolve throughout the day. So, what's really going on behind the headlines? In the next segment, we'll break down the original claims, examine the official denials, and explore why this episode matters, not just for Kristi Noem and President Trump, but for the entire country. In a city where rumors can shape reality, understanding the truth is more important than ever. The MS Now report didn't just hint at trouble, it declared, in no uncertain terms, that Secretary Noem's position within the administration was hanging by a thread. The language was direct and urgent, leaving little room for speculation. According to the report, Noem's job was not just at risk in the distant future, but in immediate jeopardy, with sources inside the White House describing a sense of crisis and inevitability about her potential removal. The report painted a picture of a high-stakes political drama unfolding behind closed doors, with tensions running high and alliances shifting rapidly. It went further, claiming that her ouster could come as soon as January 2026, a date that sent shockwaves through political circles. The report didn't just speculate about who might be involved, it named names, putting senior advisor Stephen Miller at the center of the effort to push Noem out. Miller, known for his influence and hardline tactics, was described as orchestrating a behind-the-scenes campaign, rallying other senior advisors and leveraging his close relationship with the president to build momentum for Noem's removal. The specificity of the timeline and the individuals involved gave the story a sense of immediacy and gravity that was hard to ignore. The MS Now report didn't frame this as a simple case of presidential frustration or a personal vendetta. Instead, it described a coordinated strategic effort within the highest levels of the White House. Multiple officials were reportedly involved in discussions, mapping out scenarios and contingency plans. The report suggested that this was not a spur-of-the-moment decision, but the result of weeks, if not months, of internal debate, political maneuvering, and careful planning. The implication was clear. This was a power struggle at the heart of the administration, with far-reaching consequences. By providing a detailed timeline and explicitly naming those involved, MS Now transformed what could have been dismissed as rumor into a story with urgency and specificity. The report included direct quotes from anonymous sources, highlighted key dates, and even referenced internal memos that allegedly outlined the plan for Noem's removal. This level of detail made it difficult for the administration to simply brush off the claims as baseless gossip. Journalists and political analysts immediately began dissecting the report, searching for corroborating evidence and speculating about the motives behind the leak. The report's revelations, an alleged power struggle, a looming deadline, and a cast of high-profile players, demanded a response from the administration. The White House press office was inundated with questions, and officials found themselves under intense scrutiny. The sense of urgency was palpable, as the story dominated headlines and fueled speculation about the stability of the administration. The narrative of a ticking clock and internal conflict captured the public's imagination, turning what might have been an internal dispute into a national spectacle. For MS Now, publishing such a bold and detailed report was a high-stakes gamble. The outlet put its credibility on the line, knowing that any misstep could damage its reputation. But the decision to go public with the story also signaled confidence in their sources and the information they had gathered. The report quickly became the focal point of media coverage, with other outlets racing to confirm or debunk its claims. The stakes were high, not just for Noem and the administration, but for the journalists and news organizations covering the unfolding drama. As the story spread, it ignited a fierce public debate over what was real and what was manufactured. News channels hosted heated discussions, analysts weighed in with competing theories, and social media exploded with speculation and commentary. The line between fact and rumor blurred, as supporters and critics of the administration seized on different aspects of the report to advance their own narratives. The controversy quickly became a litmus test for trust in the media and the government, with each side accusing the other of spreading misinformation. In the end, the MS Now report was more than just a news story. It was the spark that set off a firestorm of controversy, forcing the administration, the media, and the public to confront difficult questions about power, loyalty, and truth at the highest levels of government. The report offered two main reasons for Noem's supposed trouble's slow progress on expanding migrant detention facilities and complaints from governors about disaster response. Both issues are central to the Trump administration's agenda: immigration enforcement and disaster management. The report painted Noem as failing on both fronts, making her a political liability. By tying her alleged failures to the administration's top priorities, the story felt plausible, but detailed allegations can make even misinformation seem credible. That's why this rumor gained traction so quickly. To make the rumor more concrete, MS Now named outgoing Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin as Noem's likely replacement. Naming a high-profile successor made the story feel more real, suggesting the White House was already planning for a transition. Youngkin's national profile added credibility, fueling speculation about what his leadership might mean. Even if the rumor was false, talk of a replacement kept the story alive in the news cycle. This is a classic journalistic technique, one that can turn a whisper into a political storm. The replacement rumor made the stakes feel even higher. The Trump administration responded instantly and forcefully. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson called the report total fake news and praised Noem's performance. She accused MS Now of inventing stories, aiming to discredit the outlet. DHS officials joined in, mocking the report as less credible than Bigfoot sightings. The denials were coordinated, categorical, and left no room for doubt. The public now faced two starkly different narratives: a detailed report versus absolute denials. Sorting out the truth meant looking beyond the headlines to the political context. This was a classic Washington standoff. Just days before the rumor, Noem had gone on Fox News to champion Trump's immigration policies in the strongest possible terms. She called for a sweeping travel ban, using language even more aggressive than the president's. Noem's public statements were a clear show of loyalty and alignment with Trump's agenda. Her rhetoric was designed to energize the base and prove her value to the administration. This context makes the rumor of her being not tough enough on immigration seem highly unlikely. The timing of the report simply didn't add up. Loyalty is the currency of the Trump administration, and Noem has been one of its most vocal supporters. From her days as South Dakota governor to her current role, she's consistently echoed Trump's rhetoric and policies. Her recent calls for hardline immigration measures only reinforced her alignment. Firing such a loyal cabinet member would send a confusing message and risk political backlash. The logic of the rumor doesn't fit the reality of Noem's relationship with the president. It's more likely the story was built on misinterpreted or agenda-driven sources. The evidence points to a relationship of mutual reinforcement, not friction. This episode is a case study in the dangers of today's media environment. Fake news is a weaponized term, but news outlets can also make mistakes in the rush to break a story. The MS Now report may have relied on thin sourcing, as suggested by the administration's swift denials. In a 24/7 news cycle, the pressure to be first can override the need to be right. For citizens, this means media literacy is more important than ever. We must question sources, look for confirmation, and distinguish fact from speculation. The health of our democracy depends on a shared set of facts. In the end, after careful investigation and a thorough review of the available facts, the evidence overwhelmingly shows that the rumor about Noem's firing was almost certainly false. Despite the initial shockwaves the story sent through social media and news outlets, credible sources and official statements quickly debunked the claim. This is a powerful reminder that not everything we hear or read, especially in the heat of a breaking news cycle, turns out to be true. In today's fast-paced information environment, it's easy for rumors to take on a life of their own before the truth has a chance to catch up. The denials from Noem's team and other officials were immediate and absolute, leaving little room for doubt. In fact, Noem's recent public actions and statements made the story not only unlikely, but almost impossible to believe for those who were paying close attention. This highlights how important it is to look beyond the headlines and consider the broader context. Sometimes, the facts are right in front of us, but we have to be willing to see them. This incident serves as a valuable lesson in skepticism and critical thinking. The first report isn't always the final word, and initial impressions can be misleading. It's essential to pause, reflect, and seek out multiple perspectives before forming an opinion. By doing so, we protect ourselves from being misled and help prevent the spread of misinformation. In a polarized world, rumors and sensational stories can spread at lightning speed, especially when they fit neatly into our existing beliefs or biases. Social media algorithms often amplify the most dramatic or divisive content, making it even harder to separate fact from fiction. Conversations in our communities, both online and offline, can quickly become echo chambers where rumors are repeated and reinforced without question. That's why media literacy is more important than ever. It's our best defense against misinformation and manipulation. We must learn to question what we see and hear, verify information with reliable sources, and resist the urge to accept a story just because it confirms what we already believe. Fact-checking, cross-referencing, and healthy skepticism are essential skills in the digital age. By practicing these habits, we become more informed citizens and help build a healthier information ecosystem. Journalism is a process, and sometimes it's messy. Reporters work under tight deadlines, and information can change rapidly as new facts emerge. Mistakes can happen, but responsible journalism means correcting errors and updating stories as the truth becomes clearer. As news consumers, we should appreciate the complexity of this process and support efforts to improve transparency and accountability in the media. By demanding accuracy, thinking critically, and engaging in respectful debate, we can hold both our leaders and the media accountable. It's up to us to ask tough questions, challenge assumptions, and seek out diverse viewpoints. When we do, we strengthen our democracy and help ensure that the truth prevails over rumor and speculation. Ultimately, that responsibility belongs to all of us. Each of us plays a role in shaping the information landscape. By staying informed, questioning what we hear, and sharing only what we know to be true, we can build a more resilient, united, and trustworthy society.